Hello, I'm Gary Tomas Panell, and I have a lesson for you today in Spanish, and I think you'll enjoy this. We try to do the Spanish lesson using English so you can understand and learn Spanish, and then when I do it later, we'll do it in Spanish for people learning English. All right, so if we could go ahead and get started here. Today I've actually put down lessons 8 and 9. I don't know if you can see that there, but because it's two lessons in one. But I think they go together better. So it's free lesson on the verb ser, to be, and estar, to be. In English we say to be or not to be. That's old poet. Shakespeare. But anyway, so what we're going to be learning is very, very important, because in Spanish there are two verbs for the English. It is very important to know how to use these two verbs because they are used for expressing two different ideas. So let me tell you right off up front that this one, ser, is going to be permanent, as permanent as you can get. That's kind of subjective sometimes too, but permanent. So, for example, soy americano. Okay, so I've actually spelled that wrong there. Americano, and then also, so I'll have to put a O on there. I don't know what I did with my red pen, but then in English to say I am American, okay, and then temporary, see, you'd come over here to a star, and we're going to see how that works in just a bit. This is temporal, or estoy en casa in Spanish, but I am at home in English. Okay, I'm at home. Let's put that over here. I am at home. So now we're going to see how that works. So in Spanish, you understand now, there are two different verbs for only one verb in English. The English verb is just I am. You are, he is, she is, we are, they are, etc. like that. But in Spanish, we have, it's more specific, and so you'll be able to understand this as we go along. So let's go ahead and get started. Again, the infinitive, we call it, and you'll get used to that, as the verb that means the whole verb in Spanish, ser. It's the basic verb, okay? And like in English, our Spanish also a star, but in English, I am. And both it's I am in English. So let's go over here, and you want to say yo soy. That would be I am, like in soy americano. Well, you're American, and that's your nationality. You're born as American, or you're born as a Mexican, Mexicano. This is really kind of permanent. I mean, now you can get dual citizenships and that sort of thing. But as far as where you were born, that's not going to change. You were either born in Mexico, or you were born in the United States, or Brazil, or Japan, or wherever. So this is considered permanent. Okay, we'll see other examples in another lesson kind of expand on this, but I want you to just get the basic concept to begin with. So let's go through ser, the permanent verb, to begin with, and I may think of some other examples as we go along. But let's first of all let's be learning this yo soy. Now, yo, and I told you before, you're a yo-yo. That means I, okay? It's just a way to remember it. Yo-yo, okay. Yo-yos out there, say yo, okay? Some places they'll say Joe. It almost sounds like Joe, you know, the name Joe. But yo is actually the way that we usually say it, you know, the Spanish that I know about. So, yo soy. Now, also I'm going to say you're a soybean. And that kind of helps you remember. See, so let's say yo soy, I am. And if you want to help you remember it, just say yo soy, and I'm a yo-yo, but I'm also a soybean. Soy, okay? So now it has nothing to do with that really, but it helps you remember. Anything that will help you remember, that's good. Yo soy. Now remember in Spanish, yo, that means I, but also just the word soy, that would be speaking about I also. So you don't necessarily have to put yo soy unless you want to be very specific and you're emphasizing yo soy un americano, you know. Well, okay, but you could say soy americano. All right, I'm American. Then the next one we'll go to is tú eres. Tú eres, and that means you are. It is familiar. Familiar means like part of the family. It's, you know, we're not formal with the family, so this is the way to remember that. So, tú eres. Now notice, fíjense, I say in Spanish, it's fíjense. Look at it very carefully. Tú, there's an accent, acento sobre la U, all right? And that's how we say that in Spanish. The U is a U. And, but acento means the accent, okay? And, but you have to have that. If you don't have that, it's a different word, and the spelling is wrong. Because if you didn't have it, that would be, I'll take it off there, that would be your. Well, that wouldn't make any sense, your. But, so it has to have you. The accent over it makes it you. So, tú eres, or you are, and remember you could just say eres. But if you want to be very correct and specific, you could say tú eres, okay? Then we go to usted, and that stands for ustedes, usted, like that is actually the spelling of it, but it's abbreviated here, and we usually abbreviate it, just U-D period, and that means you, okay, but it's a formal you. So usted es. Now to me, it helps me to think of this as is. All right, it doesn't sound so much exactly like is, but S, okay, it kind of is just the S, the letter S, okay, there, so I put that up there. So, usted es, but it means is, okay, so you are, and, well, in English it means you are, but usted es, okay, okay, you are, and this is polite, but we have to say it there. I'm going to put this one down here. Let's change that. We'll put it down with this one here. That helps us a little bit more. And so let's go to the next one here. Él, that means he. Ella, that means she. I can put that up there if that will help you. Okay, he and she. Okay. Now this is the one I will. This is more correct. I want you to understand it. Like this means like is. Okay. So we'll put it there. Is, but in Spanish it's S, and so we just say the S part there. So él es. He is. Ella es. Now the first save space, I put them together there, but you realize that él means he is, and ella, she is, and that's of course how you write it. So, but the way you say it is él es. Let's all say that. Él es. He is. And let's say ella es. She is. Okay. So he is and she is. There we go. All right. Now nosotros or nosotras somos. Somos. Okay. Again, you don't always have to say the nosotros and nosotras. You could just say somos. Okay, somos. I don't know. That whatever helps you to remember that, but it means we are. Somos. Okay. Then ustedes son. They are. This is like you all are. Okay. In English, it's from the South. We say you all are. Ustedes son. So this would be formal. Comes from usted, remember, but ustedes is also abbreviated when it's plural, UDS, and there it's singular, just usted, but here it's plural, ustedes son, okay? Son, you are, that would be plural, you are, you all are, see, like that, think of it that way. And then ellos, remember, son, that would be they, the boys, okay? I'll put boys up here. Okay, and ellas, the girls. Okay, there you go. All right, so boys, ellos son, they are, or girls, son, they are. But in English, you see, English is not as specific a language as Spanish. But Spanish, you can tell exactly if we're talking about boys or girls. We'll say ellos for boys and ellas for girls. Now, let's go over here and see if we can, this is temporal. Temporal means, for a shorter period of time. It doesn't necessarily have to be real short, but it's not permanent, okay? The opposite of this one, ser, is permanent, and a star is temporary. So a star is our infinitive verb here, and in English it would be I am, okay? But it's temporary. For example, I'm at my house, I'm at home. Well, in Spanish, estoy en casa. So that's just temporary. You're not going to stay in your house all the time. It seems like it. Right now we're in the coronavirus thing, and in years to come you may not know what that means, but right now we're stuck sometimes in our home. And I end up doing a lot of these lessons, just kind of keep myself occupied and that sort of thing. But we're not going to be here forever. The coronavirus is going to get over or whatever, and you don't stay in your house all the time normally. And so that's temporary, okay? You're here just for a while. Okay, so yo estoy is I am. So yo estoy. And again, you don't have to use the yo. You could just say estoy, okay? I am, okay? And then tú estás. You are. That's familiar, part of the family. Okay, we're not going to get formal with the family. It's going to be familiar, okay? Tú estás. So here again, you have the accent over the U and the accent over the A. Now, if you don't put that accent there, it means like this or something else. And so you've got to put that because this is a verb. And the verb has to have the accent over the A. And this means you. Without the accent, it means your, remember? But this one, estás, you are. Okay, you are. And this is familiar. Somebody that you know. Maybe children. But not for the police officer, not for the president, not for the governor. You wouldn't say estás for them. But this is familiar with the family and people that you know. Usted está. Okay. Now this again, the accent has to be over the A. And a lot of times, Spanish speakers, especially when they're writing, they forget unless they've been studying good Spanish. And so it's very important you put there, you are, and that's polite. Usted está. And you could say está, but usted makes it very clear we're being polite with this person, and you are. Of course, later on we can make sentences with this. But we need the beginning part here just to learn these two verbs, the ser, the permanent one, and a star, the temporary one. And so that helps you, okay? Usted está. So you are. and we're talking to somebody, adult, somebody that maybe we don't know, and so we're going to say usted está. All right. Then let's go to the temporary verb, and the verb here is. Okay. So él está. Él means he. Okay. I'll put that up there again, so you can say he. Él está. All right. Or ella, she. Okay. Está. He is or she is. Okay. So there it's the is, that. And nosotros estamos. We are. We are. And again, this is temporary. Okay. We're at home. Estamos aquí en la casa. We're at home. Okay. But and remember, if you were going to do something permanent, nosotros somos, and we are Americanos. Okay, so that's a difference. So this is this one over here is temporary. In Spanish, it's called temporal, and over here, this one in English is called permanent and permanente in Spanish. And see, even there's a lot of similarities, and you'll get to see that as we go along. Okay, so nosotros estamos, we are. Nosotros estamos, and we're going to talk about how you say you're sick or you're happy, all these in another lesson, but we have to learn this part first. Then ustedes están, you are, but this is plural. It'd be like you all are, okay? You all are. And then as we go here, we would say then for the boys, okay, put boys here, okay, ellos están, okay, están, and again the accent has to be there because it's a verb, okay, ellos, the boys, and then, or the girls, okay, ellas están, they are. But in English, it's not very specific. You don't know if we're talking about boys or girls. But in Spanish, you do, because you'll say ellos when you're talking about the boys. Ellos están. They are. The boys are here. Ellos están aquí. Okay. Or ellas están aquí. That means they are here. All right. As we go along, you'll need some of this. I think of you say a key. Say, I keep my keys here. A key, think of it's right here with me. Okay, a key. A key, a ye, it's a little bit further over there. A ya, it's quite a ways over there, but we'll get into that too as we go along. Now, just for a quick review here, so you understand where we've been, and then we'll call it a lesson, but hopefully you're reviewing these. Just say, hey, I can do this. This is fun. And even though I don't know everything to know about Spanish, because I didn't grow up in a Spanish neighborhood or Spanish home or whatever, but now you are learning Spanish. And in a little while, if you practice it and you're not frightened to use it, that's the hardest thing for young people and adults, is to use something new, because it's kind of embarrassing. You have to become like a little child again in a sense. But then after you get over your being embarrassed and your pride, actually, when you get over that, just put it aside. You're not going to forget your English. Just start using these Spanish words every day, and some that you know, and then you'll learn more. But practice these lessons. Go back over these lessons several times, and it will help you, and we'll just keep going. All right? So let's go over again that we're learning 2 Spanish verbs, very, very important verbs. And the verbs that I'm teaching you are actually ones that you use all day long, every day when you're speaking Spanish. And so we need to start here, and that's what we'll do. We'll learn some more verbs as we go along. But for today, realizing that these are 2 separate verbs, okay? Even though they're similar in the sense that they're talking about to be in English, but in Spanish, there's a separate one for what we call permanente in Spanish, or in English, permanent, okay? For example, soy americano. soy mexicano. That means that I was born in America or I was born in Mexico. Now, of course, anything you would think about, there can be something subjective or another changeable, flexible. For example, maybe you were born in China, but you came to the United States because you were adopted or something. But still, you could find out where you were born. And if you were born like in Mexico, soy mexicano, okay, or soy americano. We think of America, the United States, but in reality, it's really South and Central and North America. But anyway, so you get the point, okay? Soy americano. I am an American. Yo soy. I am. Let's all just go through and repeat these, and so we'll learn them, okay? Yo soy, I am. Now you could just say soy, if you remember. You're a yo-yo and you're a soybean. Okay, so soy, and then tú eres, okay? You are. That's familiar. Then usted es. You are. Okay, polite. That's kind of tricky because that one, usted, when you're talking informally, in English it's you are, but it's S in Spanish. But now the next one, to me, this helps us because it's a lot like the is, but it's pronounced S. Okay, let's look at it. L-S. L-S Americano. Okay. Ella S. So it just sounds like S, but so I've kind of put a line under the S there. Maybe I'll circle it, so it'll help you remember. I don't want to do it in black, though. I'll do it in red, so it doesn't mess up the... all right, there we go. Okay, so remember the sound is S. L-S, he is. Ella es, she is. Okay. Nosotros, nosotras. Nosotras is for the ladies, girls, and nosotros is for the boys. You notice the O is there, and then the A over here. So whenever it's O, we're thinking boys. A in Spanish, thinking girls. Somos, okay? Somos. We are. That means we are. So somos americanos. All right. The permanent, remember? Ustedes son. They are. You all are. Okay. You are. You all. I put down here so you can see, like in the South. You are. And it's plural. Okay. So son. Yeah. Look, it's son. Like a child, his son. The word looks like that, and if we were thinking of it in English, but it's Spanish, and the Spanish is ustedes son. Son. Oh. So the short O sound there. Now, let's go to, so you are, all, and then ellos, that's the boys, ellos son, okay? Ellas son. Ellos son americanos. Ellas son americanos. They are. Okay. Now let's get up here and finish the permanent ones. And we'll call this good once we, we've done the permanent ones, and now let's do the temporary ones. Don't get them mixed up. Okay, so ser is permanent. Estar is temporary. So let's go with that. Yo estoy. Remember, you could just say estoy. Okay, that's short, isn't it? That means I am, but it's not permanent. Okay, so you're in the house, or you're happy, or you're sad, and we'll have lessons like that pretty soon. Tú estás. You are. Okay, or just estás. Then usted está, but remembering to put the accent over the A's. Okay. You are, and that's being polite. Usted está un mexicano. Maybe you're talking to the police officer and you found out he's a Mexican. All right, well, you're going to use usted. Or your teacher at school, usted, that sort of thing. Okay. Now this one, él está, he is, and then she is, ella está. Remember, el is for the boy, ella is for the girl. And now this one doesn't end in an O, but it is the E, L, and this ella ends in the A. So he is or she is. Él está, he is. Ella está, she is. Now let's go to this one. Nosotros estamos. We are. Nosotros. Okay. All of us. So you're included in the group. Okay. So that one is we are. Nosotros estamos. Well, you could say nosotras. I could put that down there. Also, if it's only girls. But if there's even one boy in the group, it goes to nosotros. Okay. But if it's only girls, then it'd be nosotras estamos. Okay. Then ustedes están. You are, plural. This is you all are. Okay. Think of it that way. Even though we don't use that too much up here in the north, but in the south, it's very acceptable and we know about it. So you all. Okay. Ustedes están. And again, this is plural, so it has the S on it. Has the accent over the A. Ustedes están, you are. Okay, temporary. Están en la casa. Okay, you're in your house. Okay, but now let's go to the last part here. Ellos están. Están. Let's all say that. Ellos están. Okay, they are the boys. Ellas están. They are the girls. Now remember, if there's even one boy in the group, then it goes back to ellos. They are. All right. Now, this real quickly this time, we'll just go through the basics and so you'll remember them. And this one is ser, permanent. Okay. Let's just say this part here. Soy. Everybody, come on. I can't hear you. Say it again. Soy. Eres. S also there, and then somos and son. All right, so that's the last one there on this side. Now let's go to estar on this side, and this one is temporary, temporal. Okay, here you go. Estoy, estás. Está, estamos, están. Okay. Now, what if we were to look at it this way? So start over here and say it this way. Soy, that's permanente. Estoy, temporal. Eres, permanente. Estás, temporal. Es, permanente. Está, temporal. Okay, then let's go to somos. Over here would be estamos. And then son. Over here, están. Okay, so hopefully that was helpful for you. And the permanent verb ser, to be, or the temporary one, estar. Okay, so hopefully that was helpful and you'll be able to start using that. And if you mix them up, people will understand. Just do the best you can. All right, hopefully you enjoyed that and you'll be back with us for the next lesson, which will be lesson number 10. All right, have a nice day. Okay,